Make the difference 0 by changing what you don't know. That's it. Or alternatively, I like doing this 1000. This is going to be 941.58. Either way. That's my yield to maturity. You get how I do it, right? If I knew what yield to maturity was, I could have calculated the value. Well, that value is the present value. And the actual price is my target value. I let GoalSeek to change yield to maturity around to make them equal or make the difference 0. Okay, this must be the Greek mythology chapter. Achilles. I use these only on open answer numerical questions. $1,000 face value that is quoted currently at 97.6. That's 97.6% of the face value. The bond pays semi-annual payments of $42.92 and matures in 12 years. What is the coupon rate? Well, for this one, I don't need any stinking Excel. You guys can actually tell me what that rate is. Each coupon is $42.92, right? Divide that by the face value. That's 4.29% per period. This is the semi-annual rate. And coupon rate is twice that. $8.58. By the way, some of you write this as a percent, some of you write it as a decimal 0.0858. Blackboard automatically considers that incorrect, but when I do manually, I convert them to correct. But try to write them like this, which makes my job a lot easier. Okay. The last one, then we'll give a break. 7.47% weekly coupon bonds of Socratic Educational Services. They're selling at 9.53, face value of 1,000, have a yield to maturity of 8.14. Approximately how many weeks will it be until these bonds mature? The coupons are weekly, okay? So let's see. Coupon rate, 7.47. What's the coupon frequency? The coupons are weekly. How many coupons are there in a year? 52. We don't know how long the bond is. Face value 1,000. Yield to maturity 8.14. But we know that they're selling for 9.53. So that's my target price. So the only thing I don't know is how long, the number of years. That number can be non-integer as long as that times frequency is the number of coupons. Data, what if analysis, goal seek. I want the difference between the actual price and the target to be 0 by changing what I don't know. I don't know number of years. Okay. Well, that's that number of years. Number of coupons is 541 something. Since the question is asking approximately, the answer is 541. And let's write our explanation here. Use the template with yeah, that's it. Anything unclear on how I solved that question? You want me to go over it again? All right. Man, I must have timed this perfect. It's precisely 1 hour, 15 minutes. Let's give a break. Let's see. Let's get started, guys. Stocks. I know chapter name is something different, but that's pretty much what we're gonna talk about. Well, stocks are essentially what we call residual ownership rights for corporations. Residual in the sense that once all the liabilities are met, whatever that remains are owned by the stockholders. The question is, how do we attempt to value such securities? It's a very deep question, and there's no single method that would work for all companies, but at least at this level, we will think about the cash flows from owning a stock. For bonds, it was not much of a problem, at least for fixed rate bonds. We know exactly what kind of cash flows we're going to get, and we know when we're going to get them. There's some sort of required rate of return commensurate with the risk of the bond. Discount them at that rate. Voila, you have a value. The method that we're going to use, at least in this class, is kind of in that spirit. Let's find out somehow, or estimate at least, cash flows from owning a stock and calculate their present values, add them up. Voila, you're home. Cash flows from owning a stock are dividends. Not all, but a lot of stocks pay dividends, which are decided by Board of Governors. not governors, board of directors, and eventual sales price. We're going to develop a method that says a stock, at least theoretically speaking, should be valued at present value of all future dividends, possibly ad infinitum. So let's start with a simple example. You buy a stock and know that it will pay a certain dividend next year. Let's call that D1, and you expect to sell it at P1. If we knew what those numbers were, and for next year's dividend, that's not much of a stretch. Firms tend to announce what their dividends are going to be well in advance. Not 10 years ahead of time, but at least over the next year or two, you have a pretty good idea of what those dividends are going to be. But that's not true for the price. And we will discount cash flows at the required rate of return. Let's call it R. We don't call that a discount rate. This is, in a sense, the return that I want that is commensurate with the risk of the stock. Riskier stocks require higher rates. Safer stocks require lower rates. Then value of stock now, let's call that V0. Next, there's only one set of cash flow. I'm going to get D1, discount that,